Okay guys, so I'm going to talk to you about macros on keto. I'm inspired to do a few more Instagram live broadcasts, seeing that I'm getting a lot of good feedback from you guys. So, are you ready to hear about macros? Not just macros with keto, but macros in general. So when I talk about macros, I can talk about intermittent fasting, I could talk about workouts, I can talk about lots of stuff, supplementation, types of protein, how much protein, are protein shakes beneficial, all that kind of stuff. So you guys ready? Here we go, you guys are joining in. What's up everyone? What's up everyone in the house? So where are you guys from? Where are you joining in so I can kind of have an understanding what time zones you guys are in. You're looking for mentees. All right. Okay, guys. So you ready to hear about, well, we got some Germany. So I just know Pimmelnase or Was ist los? We got Chicago in the house. What else do we got? Okay, you got Eastern Standard Time, East Coast. London, you must be from London. Let's see what we got going on here. Yes, you guys, Hawaii. All right, so I can see verkligen. Jag ser vi har Fredrik in the house. I huset. Hejsan från Los Angeles. Yep, Los Angeles väntar på dig. All right, so we got Canada and Sweden, and we've got London, and we got SF, San Francisco. What's up, Jackie? Okay, guys, so Baltimore, Maryland. All right, so people are joining, and I thought I would talk a little bit about macros, supplements, workouts, testosterone, estrogen dominance, things of that nature. And I think this tripod, I think, is a little high for me because I'm a shorty. All right, guys, here we go. So I want to talk about, I've done videos where you guys see me, let's say, buying 6 blocks of butter and eating 1 block of butter per day. So we have been, habla español, Keto, so little it's embarrassing, I'm not going to lie. I know more Swedish than I do Spanish. How does that make sense? Right, Frederick? All right, guys, so let's talk about macros first. The protein, the types of protein on keto or not on keto. And then we can talk about some, hello. Right? Quiet storm girl. And then we'll talk about supplementation. I want to talk a little bit about intermittent fasting and about some HIIT training, cardio, what do I think. Types of protein is also very, very important. All right, as you guys are joining in, so the reason why fat has been touted as being dangerous is because of a guy named Ansel Keys in the 50s and 60s who did a study, right? He did a 27 country study, and he left out most of the countries, and he left in countries that just spoke about heart disease, but he didn't factor in, or he sort of, how do I say, he cherry-picked the data to make it look like that fatty meats were the cause of heart disease, when really those, did I ever play sports? Go on my Instagram and watch me do handstand push-ups with no hands. You have to be an athlete to do that stuff, of course. I was a pro skateboarder. You're watching from England. Okay, thank you. So the point is that, 50s and 60s, instantly, fat was demonized by one person. He really wanted to be this acclaimed scientist and get onto Time magazine, and he did. But he botched this study and he cherry-picked, and this is the reason why when we're considering things like veganism or any types of other crazy diets that people are on, you have this conflicting data, right? A lot of these guys are anecdotal. Their studies aren't long-term. They're mostly observational studies over a short period of time. Studies cost a lot of money, or they're funded by pharmaceutical companies. So here's the deal with the fat, guys. Right? So fat, in theory, if you have a functioning digestive tract, should not spike your blood sugar because it has a glycemic index. Hey, M. Dottie. It has a glycemic index of 0. So glycemic index is the rate at which the food that's broken down, that's converted into glucose, hits the bloodstream via the small intestine. It's the volume and the rate, the speed. So fat does not spike your blood sugar because it's pure fat. There's no carbohydrates in it. So what makes us fat is, yes, intermittent fat. It freaks people. I'm going to go into intermittent fasting in a second. So fat, yes, we're made up of fat, protein, and water, guys. We're not made out of any carbohydrates. In fact, you don't need 1 drop of a carbohydrate to even make carbohydrates. We can do that through a process called gluconeogenesis. So what does fat actually do? We need it for structure. We need it for our brain, our lungs, the inside lining of our cells, our reproductive hormones. And it's got tons of vitamins and minerals in it. In fact, in the fatty meats or organ meats, there's more vitamins and minerals, right, in the fatty parts of an animal than in fruit and vegetable combined 100 times. Now, when I say stuff like that, no, bulletproof coffee's garbage. Garbage. Once man gets its hands on things, it ruins everything. You guys should know that. So I'm going to go into the supplementation soon. So, yes, fatty bits of an animal have more vitamins and minerals than fruit and vegetables combined 100 times. Because most of our plant-sourced food has been genetically modified, hybridized, selectively bred. So it's not even the stuff that grows in nature anymore. Agriculturalizing our food has completely changed the genetic structure of our produce and of our plants. Okay, you're going to watch later. Right on. So, and this is where we get into things like protein. People are like, so what kind of protein shake should I be drinking? You know, it's like, so, and I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't drink your food. You don't drink smoothies. You don't drink protein shakes. You eat your food. There's a whole metabolic process that happens from the brain all the way down to your toe when you eat and chew. So fat, this has CLAs in it. Conjugated linoleic acid, CLAs, ALAs, vitamin D, E, A, and K. It's packed, right? It's packed with nutrient density. This grass-fed butter. So it doesn't spike your glucose, in theory. Now, if you've got a gallbladder problem, so the gallbladder is designed to break and scrub down fat into a small enough molecule to fit within the bloodstream to be utilized. But people have such digestive problems, some people cannot digest. Keto's fine while breastfeeding, but I'm going on in a fat rant right now. So when I talk about butter, people are like, disgusting, but they'll eat a slice of bread like nothing. Cracker, chips, garbage, processed bars. I'm like, what happened to us as humans? What happened? Where's the nature in our cells? You know, we weren't supposed to be born inside houses with electricity and running water. These bodies, these vessels are incredible. We are designed to survive. But we're not surviving. So we become soft. This is what I said in my last live broadcast. So people, all of a sudden the psychology is all screwed up, right? Because in England and London, before, pink was for boys and blue was for girls. So that would be normal. But today, if a guy was walking down wearing pink, he's either gay or metrosexual. You see, just because of a color. A color. So the way we conceptualize things in life is very backwards, which is why I do these live feeds, which is what I'm writing in this book, trying to explain to people how blood sugar works, how oxidative stress, right, toxins in the body, like people want quick fixes. Go to the gym, do cardio, and they think that, you love pink, do a bunch of cardio, do a bunch of HIIT training, and not consider actually how the body is designed from head to toe. That's what you have to consider when you're thinking about optimal health. So fat, right, pure fat, does not spike glucose if you have a functioning gallbladder and enough HCl levels in your stomach, right? You can digest it, essentially. So what's going on then when you eat fat? So in my body, I eat fat. So check this out, you guys. I eat fat. Blood sugar doesn't spike. That means low insulin. Insulin is the storage hormone. That's the thing that makes you guys fat. Because in the wild, we wouldn't have all this abundance of starchy carbohydrates and sugars at all. So hence, and I mentioned this in the last live broadcast, hence lower blood sugar. So lower blood sugar, lower insulin, and then less storing fat. Now, well, we use insulin to build muscle, right? Boom. We use insulin to build muscle. So if your insulin is not as high, because you're not eating as many starchy carbohydrates, right? And so how are you going to build muscle if your insulin is not being highly secreted? Because you become insulin sensitive. That means that insulin does a better job in small amounts, which is less caustic. So caustic means to break down the body, to break down and kill cells. Because not only does sugar damage cells, so does insulin if it stacks. See, insulin, you eat a lot of carbs. Some people are really great at getting rid of all that high blood sugar. But you can't get rid of the insulin. The insulin will literally stack up within the bloodstream and damage. And that's why people don't look well today. We have all the technology around us, but people, I'm telling you, I go to the gym and people don't look well. They don't look well. So that's why I'm trying to teach you guys about all this kind of stuff. So therefore, my blood sugar doesn't spike high. My insulin does not spike high. My insulin becomes very strong at a lower level, and it does an amazing job. So it takes the moderate amount of protein that I consume, and boom, I become hyper-anabolic, which is grow, and less catabolic, which is to break down. So you guys who eat carbs, you are catabolic, right? So when we have toxins in the air and water and all this stuff, we're going through oxidative stress. Our cells are going under stress. Our bodies and our systems are going under stress. But on top of that stress, your systems don't work when you eat carbohydrates, because you eat a bar or something with 13 grams of carbs in it, and it's a drink, and everyone's like, oh my God, that's 13 grams, it's not a lot. I'm like, yes, it is, because it's been manipulated so it can hit the bloodstream real fast and start to do its damage. So blood sugar, it does a thing called, I said before, advanced glycation end product. It starts damaging the cell lining, the protein in cells, and misshapens it. Now the cell doesn't function properly, and now you don't have energy like you used to, because everybody classifies everything by age, which is absolutely ridiculous. So I want to be that person that explains that you don't have to age and be hyper catabolic and just rip your body apart because of misinformation and not taking the time to actually. I can't answer anyone's questions, Julio, because I'm talking. My eyeballs are not that equipped to read questions while talking at the same time. I wish I could, right? Because women have more oxytocin, right? They can do 20 things at once, and men have more vasopressin. But even I can't read little text that tiny on a screen. So this is what I do on YouTube. You guys know I do YouTube videos, or a lot of you guys do, and I'll do Periscope or Facebook live broadcasts. And when you're talking on a phone, I can't read anything until I'm done talking. So fat, right? I just broke an egg on my carpet. Shit. I was going to talk about eggs. Hold on a sec, guys. All right, before this turns to glue, that is craziness. I got all up in my feelings. Okay, guys, I'm back. All right, put some salt on it. All right, I'll do that now. Oh, got me some. So actually with the salt, when you do a ketogenic protocol, see, carbohydrates make you hold on to water, right? Carbohydrate, right? So every 1 gram of a carbohydrate that you eat, your body holds on to 2.8 and even up to 4 grams of water. So here we have salt. So you need your electrolytes, your sodium potassium balance. You're going to feel like shite, but in this case, I'm going to use it to not have the egg turn to glue on my carpet, which I hate carpet. I hate carpet. That's America for you. When I went to Europe the first time, everybody had hardwood floors. All right. So here we have, I've got some Himalayan and some Celtic. salt with minerals in it. Not a lot, but enough to help us. Now, you also need potassium. Now, potassium is great for your electrolyte balance. It's the one thing that I've noticed from doing keto for years and years and years is that I always have to mind my electrolyte balance, including water, because carbohydrates make you hold on to water, and then when you drop the carbohydrate, you drop all that water, and then your electrolyte balance gets a little wonky until the kidneys learn how to rebalance your water. Okay, see, was it OG? Forget the other keto people. Thank you. So, but spinach, here's the thing. A lot of you guys are walking around, right, not feeling well. Most of you guys are really, 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 really tired. So a lot of you guys have adrenal insufficiencies. You guys are looking for caffeine. People are asking me about bulletproof coffee. I'm so against coffee and the coffee enemas. Are you kidding me? You're going to stick coffee up your rectum and squeeze it up this freaking sensitive body that we have. I don't understand. Do you understand how coffee already starts to irritate the stomach lining? Can you imagine what it does to your colon? Oh, okay. No, cellulite is really, it's a couple things. It's your lymphatic system. It is toxins, health toxins. It's estrogen dominance, primarily because you've got the fat on the female area, right? I did a video, guys, explaining that the fat bits are from here to here. Oh, sorry, on the thigh. And for women, it's it's that zone. And what happens is you have these this connective. No, it's called hello. You have these fibrous bands in your muscle fascia. Thank you. The fascia, the muscle fascia, and they get tight, right? Because we sit like this all day long. We don't move our bodies. No, we don't move. We're just stuck in these static positions, and so our fascia gets real tight, like these cord bands get tight. And so now, right, you've got this effect where the fat starts popping through those fibrous bands, and that's the actual look of the cellulite. But really, if you were not estrogen dominant and moved a little bit, it wouldn't matter how old you are, you wouldn't have the cellulite appearance. So say hi to your wife, Isabel. What's up, Isabel? All right, okay, so because you guys are wanting to ask questions, I won't go and do, because I definitely have to go to the gym soon. So I'm going to stop with my run. I wanted to go over macros, which I'm not going to do in completion, like meat, what happens when you eat it, what type of protein is the best, right? Histamine intolerance, gut issues, why you guys have digestive issues, why you guys can't sleep, what do I think about supplementation for what and why. I won't have time to go into that, but I realize I can go on Instagram whenever I've got a few minutes and start talking about this kind of stuff. Micronutrients? Rant! Who's like, rant! I know, you guys need it. And you know what I need? I need some water. Because, I think I have water back here. Because talking a lot is not good without drinking some water. Okay, guys. All right. So, you see why. Oh, that's awesome. I really like to hit science, and I like to hit it hard, but I think because I have so little time, I think I'm just going to go into your guys' questions. So let's do this. Let's get it cracking. I will go into all those details another broadcast and talk about, anything from the quality of your skin, like elastin, collagen, rashes, eczema, dandruff, gallbladder. What do you want to know? Be specific with your question. Don't just say gallbladder, because that doesn't do anything for me. So, see, what options do you have for intolerance to histamines? So, it's what you do when you have histamine intolerance. For those who don't know what it is, it's sensitivities and allergies. It can be seasonal allergies. It's a cocktail of inflammation, right? It's histamine released from the mast cells, and it's primarily due to the walls of your intestine. They open up, right? And the permeability is all messed up. And now your body can allow big particles of food to enter the bloodstream. The body begins to attack itself. And so you begin to develop sensitivities to certain types of foods, right? So it can, and people don't even know this. It could be raw vegetables. It literally can be anything. It can be leftover food where bacteria is growing on the food and the body starts to react to that. It starts to react to nuts and cheese, and it reacts to fish, cinnamon, lemon, avocados, but that's typically a latex allergy from the tree where they create latex gloves. And so you start to feel, you don't feel well. You may not even connected, and you'll start to notice that your stool floats, you're gassy, you're farty, you could be constipated, yeast infections, yes, and Jay, yeast infections, which are not just yeast infections, that's for women. Or no, you could, I mean, you fungal infections for men, but fungus growing in the gut dysbiosis, an imbalance of gut biome, gut microbes. So I'll get to the low T in a sec. So what do? You have to rotate your food. Your body, if you inundate, let's say if you're very, sensitive to histamine to spinach, which a lot of you guys are, and you eat a ton of spinach, you can't do that. You would have to rotate it in and out. So as to, the body's going to learn how to fight this inflammatory response. That's what it's going to try to do. So when you're not constantly inundated with these foods that are hard on the permeability of your gut lining, now the gut lining can slowly heal, because some people become sensitive to everything, and there's a difference between allergies, like food allergies and food sensitivities. There's a difference between having an anaphylactic reaction or just, I feel like crap. Yes, I remember, Jay. I remember we had to stop at like a Target or something in Jersey, and I had some issues with, I forgot what food it was that you had issues with, but come to Chicago. Not now! This stuff is cold! Oh, but maybe one day I'll go to Chicago and do a seminar. So I hope I'm kind of explaining the histamine intolerance. A lot of you guys have it. Most of us have candida, which is a fungus. It's a fungal overgrowth. It's yeast that's turned into fungus and it overgrows. Bone broth won't gel. Add some chicken feet to it. Yeah? Pig feet, chicken feet, and lower the fat intake to actual body. Wait. To lower fat intake, tape, what? You gotta rephrase that, Miss Fit Helena. Just veggies now. Veggies. You mean rather than like can of beans? Just saying, which is garbage. Beans are garbage. That's why people soak them to get out the phytic acid. A lot of you guys don't realize that plants have chemicals. They're called anti-nutrients. We can't escape vegetables, but we can rotate them. So you guys stop eating mono foods. Don't eat the same thing every day. It's not good for the body. You can build up sensitivities to it. When to lower your fat intake? Why would you want to do that? I went out last night with my friend and I ate half of the Kerrygold pack. In one meal. Oh, why would you want to lower the fat intake? Because you want to lose weight? That's not how you lose weight. You lose weight by adapting and getting the body to use the fat, convert it into ketone bodies, right? Acetoacetate, get into the bloodstream, into the Krebs cycle, and into the brain. And get your stress down, learn how to sleep, and then we can start talking about your macros and changing the fat. Tap into the body fat, I guess. Okay, that's an incomplete thought, so I don't know what you mean. You can't tap into any body fat. It's about your hormones. So you got to tap into your insulin. You got to tap into your estrogen, because that's it. And sleep. So you got to tap into the hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal, and thyroid axis, and your hormones, and your gut permeability, and that's it. It has nothing to do with lowering or upping fat. Your fat loss has nothing to do with any of that. Hi, guys. Okay, thank you, Love to Train, too. Wait for it, wait for it. What do you do for candida? You guys want to know what you do for candida? Let me show you. I love this stuff. Watch the replay, okay? Boop, 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 boop. It's called lauricidin. It's concentrated lauric acid, which is in coconut oil, which is the capric acid, capric and caprylic acid. These things are antifungal, microbial, and they boost your immune system because they fight off pathogens. This is the best stuff ever to fight off candida, and it seems by what I've learned from observational studies that your body doesn't get used to it like it would grapeseed extract or oregano oil. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's what it looks like. It's amazing. Amazing. There's the answer. How does the body get rid of body fat? Well, Jay, we all know that your sleep ain't that good, honey. Jay goes and not enough rest. So somebody asked about low T, getting your testosterone on point, getting the estrogen. You have to think about xenoestrogens in the environment, plastic bottles. We're talking pesticides on food, soy products, blood sugar dysregulation. All these things will, especially with the xenoestrogens, like on coffee, the pesticides, herbicides, fungicides coming into the body. I got it from Amazon, the lauricidin. HCG? The HCG is garbage. No. Learn about the body and don't drop your calories down to 500 or you're going to develop a thyroid disorder or adrenal insufficiencies or like what a lot of men are going through, which is low testosterone and depression. And that's another subject we don't talk about enough is the depression that people are suffering today. Yes, fluoride in the water will destroy your gut biome and then you're going to need this stuff to kill off all the nasty fungus that's growing because your good bacteria is all gone because of our water and the antibiotics we keep taking every time we have a damn cold or flu. Antibiotics are death. They're death. I mean, I would only take that stuff if I was septic or had meningitis, or some incredible viral infection I can't heal naturally, you guys. We just keep sticking stuff in our mouth and on our skin, like deodorant and lotions and toothpaste and perfumes, and we don't, and shampoos and antibiotics and poor quality food. Like our meats, we don't know where they came from. We didn't slaughter it ourselves. This stuff in a package, before you open a package and stick it in your mouth, you should be like, okay, is it really spinach? Is it spinach? Or is it really organic? No, homemade kefir is not necessarily good. Kimchi, kombucha, or any fermented foods, because if you have a gut dysbiosis so bad, you actually might make candida grow even more with fermented foods. Now, fermented foods were great in the time where a man didn't have a obliterated gut from drinking alcohol and caffeine and antibiotics and medications. And birth control pills and things of this nature, and amalgam fillings that destroy gut lining and make candida grow. So you could eat a fermented food or fermented kefir, like grass-fed milk into kefir or coconut kefir. Now, some people, it doesn't make certain strains of bacteria overgrow in the gut, and some it does, so you have to be very careful with fermented foods. Don't just run to the store and go grab kefir because you think that's going to help you. It actually could hurt you. Just depends. Okay, wait. You see, keep waking up at 1 a.m. every morning. That's because your blood sugar is dropping. Most likely, that's a cortisol spike. First of all, it could be stress. It could be the fact that your food timing is off, and you could have a pre-existing hypoglycemia. You're not even aware of it. If you have, everybody has it. I mean, let's keep it real, right? Gassy, farty, constipated, loose stool, itchy skin, dandruff, craving sugar all the time, bloated. Like, these are all candida symptoms. Tired, craving sugar, brain fog, like can't focus because like the candida albicans spores get up in the brain and drill holes and fuck with our thinking. Excuse the swearing, but we're not on YouTube, so I can say fuck. Pork rinds, I mean, not as a snack. You could sprinkle a little bit on a salad or use it as if you're going on a flight and you just want something in a package. But you can make your own jerky, beef jerky for flights and stuff like that. Pork rinds, you can add your protein up real high. Bye, Julio. You have a lot of gas. What? Even eating low carb. Because you have a gut problem. You have leaky gut, 100%. You need to learn how to rotate your foods. But that would be like a consultation. People who are bloated no matter what have really bad leaky gut. That's holes in the gut wall. It's called lauricidin. Like, think of Laura, like your best friend Laura, and then Cedin. What's up from Texas? Tiger. Bone broth is great, but sometimes the glutamate can make people got leaky gut, like this person who said I'm always bloated. It wouldn't be good for them, but for me, bone broth would be great because it's got like zinc, magnesium, potassium, chromium, iron. It's got all these vitamin D, E, A, K, all these properties within the bone marrow that help us heal our bodies, plus the collagen. You have to keep candida in check by lots of stuff. I mean, you can't just use lauricidin. It's about your diet. It's about the stress. It's about your sleep quality, your gut permeability, the antibiotics, the things that just like things that have a lot of fungus on it, coffee, tea bags. If you're drinking herbal teas, unfortunately, raw cacao has a lot of fungus on it. I mean, we eat foods that have fungus on it. They're called mycotoxins. We can't nuts. They have a ton of mold on them. Just because you don't know that you have candida doesn't mean that you don't have it. Yeah, the keto diet can be good for your daughter who's got delayed speech, and in time, I'm sure that if she's having the wheat, the cheese, anything that can be inflammatory to your daughter's body. I mean, she doesn't necessarily have to do keto. She can do a low carb, high fat, but keto can be great. But you've really got to do keto the wrong way, or it's just more troublesome. I mean, you got to be disciplined like boom. And if you are disciplined like boom and understanding, then it can be actually great for any type of slow, delayed learning, autism, Alzheimer's, dementia, brain injuries, depression, impulse behavior, poor impulse, compulsive behavior, OCD. It's amazing. Anxiety. Keto is amazing for all this because you are no longer running on blood sugar. You are, and also seizures, clearly. The body becomes very much in balance because you're running on ketones that burn slower and more even. Whereas carbs zing you up, slam you down. Up, down. And every time you go up and slam down, you're creating more damage to the body, more inflammatory responses. You can go to my YouTube channel, which is Stephanie Keto Person. I have probably about 2,000 videos at this point explaining everything for beginners on keto, and it's all for free information. And lauricidin, yes, that's the name and the spelling. Yeah, there's a ton of mold on nuts. You just can't see it with your own eyes. Also caffeine, tea bags, vinegar, white wine vinegar. That can help candida grow more. Cacao, obviously sugar. So I watch people eating dried fruit, and I'm just like, candida, candida, candida. And then when I go to the girls' changing room in the bathroom at my gym, I'm like, all these young girls have such bad digestive issues, Crohn's, IBS, constipation, and I mean a lot. Okay, thank you, everyone. You guys are giving me a lot of love here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will come sometime to London to probably do a seminar. I was doing a lot of seminars last year. I went to Australia for a month. I went to Sweden. I went to South Africa, New York. And then I've stopped because I'm writing a book, guys. I'm writing the Ultimate Keto book because I want to teach you guys not to hurt yourselves and use keto for family members who've got cancer, multiple sclerosis, like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, depression, acid reflux, chronic fatigue, Addison's disease, low testosterone, estrogen dominance, candida, eczema, shingles. I mean, you name it. It's amazing for all those things. Okay, guys, I think this is a very good time for me to bounce. I just wanted to do a quick live broadcast. That wasn't very quick, though. And I'm going to go hit the gym, and I'm going to do some pull-ups. And I will be doing some handstands. So, also, you guys, I was interviewed by Paleo Effects.